Alright, hello. Welcome back to my channel. I'm Barbara and this is Starting from the Bottom. And I just basically make videos about my experiences and the things that I'm led to talk about. Today we're going to do part 2 of last week's video, and that was on figurative language. So last week we got into John 16:25, I believe, and it was talking about figurative language and how soon he'll be able to talk to us plainly about the Father. Um, and I generalize that into saying that sometimes God can't tell us the plan, the path, because we wouldn't understand it. So he has to speak figuratively to us, and it's up to us to humble ourselves and trust in God and have enough faith to do exactly what God wants you to do. And sometimes it leads you to good experiences, and sometimes it leads you to bad experiences. Either way, these are still ways that God tells you and teaches you about himself and the world and yourself, right? So last week we talked about how those experiences can sometimes be good, and now we're going to be talking about how those experiences could be bad. So if God speaks to you in figurative language and he tells you to go somewhere, to do something, and then you go and you do it, and it's a bad experience, and it's something that you did not expect, sometimes you want to run away from it. But the bad experience was supposed to teach you a lesson which you didn't learn previously. So sometimes God speaks to us in figurative language. He pushes us forward and we walk into something amazing. We are rewarded. But sometimes God speaks to us, leads us into something, and it's terrible. But they're the same thing, and that is teaching you a lesson about what you did previously. So if you go into a new experience, if you go do something that God told you to do, he laid it on your heart, he laid it on your soul to do so, and you go do it and it is negative, you have to evaluate the experience from the outside to understand the lesson that he is trying to teach you and the characteristic trait inside of yourself that did not see that lesson that he was showing you previously, because it's human nature to experience a bad thing and then distance yourself from it instead of looking at yourself and trying to fix it. So some of us, we like to run away from our problems. And if you run away from a problem without being taught the lesson, you're going to enter into a new problem. But it's just to teach you the lesson of what you ran away from previously. So when you go into new situations after following God's figurative language, after following God's figurative directions, it's only a matter of time that he uses that experience to speak plainly on what you need to learn, what you need to change, and what you need to do. And sometimes he uses people to mirror back your behavior. Have you ever heard of the saying, the tables have turned? This is what I'm talking about. Sometimes he puts you in experiences that will be people mirroring the behavior back to you so that you learn the lesson. For instance, if you were cold to somebody, didn't give them a chance, you're going to go into an experience where somebody's cold to you and didn't give you a chance. And then after that experience, you will know plainly what you were trying to be taught. But when it happened, it could have felt figurative. It could have felt confusing, right? So all these experiences that we're going into is just an opportunity for God to show up and teach us lessons, ultimately refine our character, and to mirror back who we are and what we are and the feelings that we produce in people based off of our actions. Because some of us will be told this, but we won't understand. And the only way to understand is to experience it. So this is part 2 of the figurative language series. We're moving on. Next week will be a different video. If you have a experience in which God taught you a lesson, put it down below. Thank you for everybody who has been supporting my channel, giving me likes, commenting, subscribing. I truly do appreciate it. And I pray that you get something out of it. Like I hope that someday I can get something out of you. I want this to be a mutual experience, a mutual experience of fellowship. So if you're cool with that, hit me up, subscribe, look out for the next video, and know that I love you. Peace.